say something in the words of Huey P. Newton. Power is the ability to define phenomenon, making it act in a designed manner. Power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in a designed manner. Mr. Cosby, power is back. It's back. It has been restored. The jurors, they use their power to speak. And Mrs. Cosby, power is back. So the legacy didn't go anywhere. It has been restored. And for all those attorneys who conspired, like Gloria Allred, tell them to go back to law school and take another class. Thank you.
Well, that was Bill Cosby spokesman Andrew Wyatt claiming victory after a suburban Philadelphia judge declared a mistrial in the comedian's sexual assault case that took place on Saturday. Jurors deliberated for more than 50 hours but could not come to a decision as it relates to the guilt or innocence of Bill Cosby. Now, while Cosby didn't say anything after the decision, his wife Camille blasted prosecutors, the judge, and the media. This was the statement read outside of court.
How do I describe the district attorney? Heinously and exploitively ambitious. How do I describe the judge? Overtly arrogant and collaborating with the district attorney. How do I describe the counsels for the accusers? Totally unethical. How do I describe many, but not all, general media? Blatantly vicious entities that continually disseminated intentional omissions of truth for the primary purpose of greedily selling sensationalism at the expense of a human life. Historically, people have challenged injustices. I am grateful to any of the jurors who tenaciously fought to review the evidence, which is the rightful way to make a sound decision. Ultimately, that is a manifestation of justice based on facts, not lies. As a very special friend once stated, truth can be subdued but not destroyed. Moreover, I express humongous gratitude to counselors Brian McMonigal and Angela Agrusa for their hard work. Mr. McMonigal for his passionate and powerful articulations of truth. Ms. Agrusa for her thorough research to bolster Counsel McMonigal. To Mr. Andrew Wyatt for his unequivocal skills in public relations. To our team who work diligently and intelligently. To our staffs for their continuous commitment to our family and me. And to our children, grandchildren, and other family who loves us. And to our dear friends and supporters who never gave up on us, despite it all, Camille Cosby.
Andrea Constant, the woman who accused Bill Cosby, she said, quote, "These proceedings have given a voice to the many victims who felt powerless and silenced." Prosecutor Kevin Steele says he will try Bill Cosby again. The judge indicated it will happen within the next 4 months.
We will evaluate and review our case. We will take a hard look at everything involved, and then we will retry it. As I said in court, our plan is to move this case forward as soon as possible.
Now, Cosby remains free on bail. He remains charged with 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault stemming from the 2014 incident. Constant says the entertainer drugged and assaulted her at his home. He claims the encounter was consensual. Joining me via Skype from Dallas, Yodit Tuwelde, criminal defense attorney and legal analyst. So, Yodit, first of all, is it a good idea for Bill Cosby's legal team, his spokesman, no, I take that back, not his legal team, but his spokesman and even his wife, to blast the judge, blast the prosecutor, when he very well could be retried again?
Well, we know he is going to be retried again, and no, it's not a smart thing. This rep for Cosby has, I think, come off incredibly cocky. So it's sort of ironic that Camille Cosby is blasting the judge as cocky when the representative for Cosby has come out so arrogant in this entire proceeding. However, it's ironic that she's saying, Camille that is saying that the judge is arrogant and siding with the prosecution when really the judge favored the defense by not allowing the 13 other accusers to testify in Cosby's trial. I think that was a that was a win for the defense. So they have to keep in mind that they will be retried, and they're going to have to pick another 12 jurors who are watching and listening to all of these things. And so it may be a little harder this time to find 12 jurors who are going to set aside what they've heard and have seen from Cosby's rep and has heard from Camille Cosby's statement.
The other issue is we don't know how this jury was hung. Right. We don't know if it was 10-2 for acquittal, 10-2 for conviction. So the Cosby team is claiming this major victory, but it's not.
It's not. And a mistrial is neither a conviction nor is it an acquittal, which is why the prosecution can get another crack at Cosby. So for them to claim victory and not really know, now they may actually know the divide. We don't know, they may know. I don't know. But it is not an acquittal. He's going to be retried and they don't know. They may actually get a conviction with these new 12 jurors. So for them to sit here and say that it is a victory. Now, again, this may be a spin. This may be something that they are doing intentionally so that whatever future potential prospective jurors may see this as, you know what, maybe Cosby really didn't do it. Maybe he is being vindicated. And so we don't know what the reason is, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this is going to affect the trial moving forward.
Vincent Thompson with WURD Radio in Philadelphia. You covered this from the beginning. You've been joining us here on TV One. It was very interesting just watching how all of this played out on Saturday. What was it like outside of that courtroom?
Well, there was a lot of disappointment from women who have accused Mr. Cosby of sexually assaulting them. Remember, Andrea Constand is one of 60 women who have accused Mr. Cosby over the years, going back to the 1960s, of drugging and molesting them. At least a third of these women are African American. Two of those African American women, the most known being Lily Bernard, she was at the court on Saturday, had been at the court for the last couple of days, and she openly wept when the mistrial was announced. The women had said that they were excited about having the chance to prosecute Cosby again. These women are going to stay on Mr. Cosby, and they're looking for a conviction. Andrea Constand, the reason that Mr. Steele, the district attorney, decided to retry the case is he spoke to Andrea Constand minutes before the jury came back and announced that they were hopelessly deadlocked, and she said that she wanted to go through this trial again. I have to agree with you, Roland. It is not a victory for Mr. Cosby, because 4 months' time from now, there's going to be a brand new jury. We don't know where they're going to be picked from, who are going to hear this case over again, and Mr. Cosby could be convicted. So instead of being 79 years old and possibly going to jail, by the time October rolls around, he could be 80 years old and have to go to jail. So, you know, there was a lot of playing to the court of public opinion by both sides.
I want to pull in our panel here, Chris Mistrial, legal scholar, political scientist, president and CEO for JMI Group, Law Victoria Burt, political analyst and writer for NBC Black, Eugene Craig, CEO of Eugene Craig Organization. Clearly, the Cosby folks can claim partial victory in that it's a mistrial. But again, to go after the judge, the same judge who will still be on this case, Chris, I don't think, and remember, here's what you didn't see. You didn't see his lawyers out there talking.
Right. No, what you saw were supposedly spin doctors having this conversation. They sounded cocky, incompetent, ignorant. And again, from a strategic standpoint, as a former prosecutor myself, if you're going to go after the judge that's going to retry your case, good luck with that. It's not going to work out well.
Yeah, I think that presentation afterwards was an example of the fact that Mr. Cosby is 79 years old and probably didn't explicitly tell his team to shut up, even though that may have been what he was thinking. And it's fine that they think that, but they can't present that way in public. I actually think this was more of a victory for Mr. Cosby than a defeat. I think it's unlikely that a new case would have a different result, a result of guilty. But, you know, like you were saying, I mean, the whole Andrew Wyatt and I think Camille Cosby, there's no reason to say anything. Just let it play out. 4 months goes by. He probably will be, I would think on the second trial he'd be acquitted, because I think the likelihood, it's a tough case to begin with. I'm surprised it was a mistrial. trial. I'm surprised this wasn't acquittal. So,
and again, Eugene, we still don't know
the breakdown.
how the jury was hung.
We don't know how the jury was hung. We feel, either leaning acquittal or leaning conviction. But for his spokesperson got out there and just attack everybody. For Camille to literally call the media essentially fake news. I mean, these guys are literally running 45's playbook when it comes to handling major situations, which I don't necessarily recommend for anybody. But I do think that they are probably leaning that if this case does come back up, which the DA is saying it will, or state's attorney is saying he's going to try it again, they probably will lean towards acquittal, another mistrial, if it actually does end up coming up again.
Their communication strategy has been this from the very beginning. And the problem is, when you've got 49 people out there who are talking and doing things and doing interviews, it's just not a good PR idea to induce them even more with that presentation.
Well, again,
but you don't mean induce forget the 49 people. You went after the judge. You went after the judge.
Right.
You went after the person that's literally overseeing your case. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. That's the equivalent of 45 going after Robert.
And it's some spokesperson.
Your D, I want to pull you back in here. Again, what also took place was you had actually, while the jury was deliberating, the judge admonishing the defense team because of comments Andrew White made outside of the courtroom with regards to a woman who's not allowed to testify. That was also, again, weird. The jury didn't hear it because they were sequestered, but to still do that while the jury's deliberating, the judge was not happy.
No, the judge was not happy, and they still did it. And so they're already poisoning a future potential jury that's going to come up. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with one of your panelists that said that they believe that there may be an acquittal the second time around, when honestly, I think that there actually may be a conviction. You have to remember the prosecution now has a detailed view of the defense team's strategy. They know now what to correct. They may bring on more witnesses that weren't as effective this time. They are going to get a narrative from these jurors as to what happened back there in deliberations so that they could tweak their case moving forward. So I'm not really sure that their case going forward will be just the same or even weaker. It actually may be stronger. So it's going to be interesting now to see what these jurors are going to do next. And keep in mind what Cosby was doing while the trial was going on, how his comments, his joking, his smiling, his insensitivity to the entire proceeding is also going to be in the minds of these jurors going forward.
Vincent Thompson, final comment, about 20 seconds.
I just think that people should wait for trial number 2, which is going to happen in October.
All right. Vincent Thompson, thanks a lot. Udita Welde, thanks a lot as well. A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not gonna let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.